Okay, guys, today we're gonna learn our 8th and final planets. Yay! Miss Bowden learned a lot about this planet, and it's pretty cool because there's so much more to be discovered and learned about it. It's kind of like a mystery planet, which is really cool. I think after this one, I'm gonna give you just a small little brief a small little brief mini lesson on Pluto, just because it was a planet when I was around, and even though it's not considered one of our planets, it's a dwarf planet. To end it, I think I still will tell you guys about it, just because I really like the name of it. Anyway, let's get on to our 8th planet, but before we do, let's review all of our planets first. So, in order, starting with our inner planets, the 4 rocky planets, we have our first planet is Mercury, not the hottest planet, the smallest planet. Yeah. Second planet is Venus. Good job. That is the hottest planet. Yeah. And a sister planet to our planet, which is what? Earth, the 3rd planet from the sun. Oop, this way. Yeah, Earth. And then our 4th planet, it's the red planet, Mars. Good job, that M, Mars. Yeah, okay, so we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. Those are our 4 planets. Then comes this belt. What is that belt called? The asteroid belt, made up of all those rocks. It separates those inner planets from those outer planets. Yeah, so the inner planets, remember, are all full of rock. They're terrestrial rocky planets. The outer planets are called our giants, our gas giants. Very good. So the 5th planet is the biggest planet. Which one is that? Jupiter. Very good. The 6th one has got tons of beautiful rings on it that you can clearly see. Saturn. Our 7th one we learned earlier on Tuesday, which was Uranus. And now our 8th planet is Neptune. Yeah. So all of our outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, they're all considered to be gas giants because they are giant in size and they're all made of gases. So they all also have rings around them. Now, Jupiter's rings you can't quite see, like Saturn's rings. Uranus rings you can see, but remember, Uranus is tilted sideways, so it rolls. Neptune, it's got rings, but they're very faint again, so it makes it sometimes hard to see. But Neptune's got rings, but remember I told you yesterday, Uranus was a beautiful blue color? It's not as pretty as Neptune. Neptune is also blue, yeah, but Neptune's blue is darker and a deeper blue. And so it's named Neptune after, like all the other planets, after gods, and it's like the god of the sea. And so it's got that deep, rich color blue. It's beautiful. Miss Bowden loves looking at the pictures of it because it's so pretty. Now, Neptune is also considered an ice giant, just like Uranus. It is made up of a lot of the same gases, like the different forms of water as gas, and ammonia and methane. Remember that methane is what turns to that color blue. But what's funny is because it's made up of a lot of the same things as Uranus, but scientists have no idea why it's such a deeper blue color compared to Uranus. Because if they're made of the same stuff, why is one darker than the other? Scientists aren't sure why. They're still researching. Only one spacecraft has gone to Neptune to study it. And the difference between Neptune and Uranus is that Uranus has got so many clouds that you can't quite see underneath it, whereas Neptune doesn't have it. It's not as foggy and hazy, so they can kind of see. So what they notice is that Neptune is the windiest planet. It's got the strongest winds on it and the most fierce winds that they could have on any planet. And so those winds are just whipping around super fast, and they're super dangerous because it's not just regular like hurricane wind. It's stronger and it's icy wind, so it's super cold. It's not the coldest planet because remember, Uranus is the coldest, but Neptune is so super close to being the coldest planet because, you know, it's the furthest from the sun, but those winds make it icy and chilly as well. Okay, Neptune takes, I'm gonna let you guess. How many hours do you think it takes to go around one to make a day? Remember, Uranus was about 17 hours and 14 minutes. And Uranus and Neptune are about the same size. So take a guess on how long you think one day is on Neptune. 16 hours. Yeah. So it's 8 hours short of our day. Yeah. So basically, if you were to sleep for 8 hours, you were up for 16, you would lose those time that you would sleep, and just you being up, that would be one entire day. You would have stayed up an entire day on Neptune. Neptune, you know, spins fast like Uranus and all the other gas giants. For their days, they're definitely shorter than Earth, but here's the sad part. Okay, Uranus took 84 years to go around the sun, so he only got one birthday. I hate to say it, Neptune is even longer. Yeah. Neptune, oh my goodness, it is almost double the amount of time of Uranus. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, let me see. 84 double, that means 84 plus 84. It's not quite that amount, it's almost that amount, but if I were to add them together, Miss Bowden's going to think, okay, 80, I'm going to go close to the group of 10. 80 plus 80. Let's break it down. 8 tens plus 8 tens. 8 plus 8. Think about that. What is 8 plus 8? 16. Good job. And it would be 8 tens plus 8 tens, which would give us 16 tens. So count by 10, 16 times. 160. Yeah, so Neptune takes 165 years to go around the sun one time. So guess what? When Neptune was discovered, it was discovered in 1846. It just made one rotation around the sun in the year 2011. Yeah. So Neptune's not even going to go around the planet once while Miss Bowden's here to witness it. It's way too long. Yeah. But 2011, it started back at the beginning, okay? 165 years. It's just crazy. Like, you wouldn't even get a birthday on Neptune if you think about it. It's so sad because it takes so long to do that. It's such a long time. But scientists, when they discovered Neptune, you know how all the other planets were discovered by looking up at the sky and seeing them, and they thought they were stars, but then they took telescopes and they noticed they were planets? And then Uranus was the first one truly only discovered by a telescope, not by seeing it in the sky. Okay, guess how Neptune was discovered? It wasn't discovered by a telescope. It was discovered by Miss Bowden's favorite subject to teach. What's my favorite subject? I love for you guys to get excited during this time. Math time, exactly. So the brilliance of math and everybody doing these calculations, they predicted Neptune, and then they found Neptune. So they took a whole bunch of math skills and they were able to locate Neptune in the sky. Then they were able to take a telescope and go see it. But they didn't just look in this night sky with a telescope and say, oh, that's a planet. They actually just did math, and they guessed they did their math reasonings and figured out where it would be. And because they knew there was something else out there. And so math is what discovered Neptune, which is so cool. You can do so many things with math. So, yeah, mathematicians found the planet Neptune, and then they kind of knew Neptune was there because the way that Uranus traveled around the sun, there was also something else pulling at it, which was Neptune, the other planet. They were kind of pulling with each other. But their space so far apart from each other, but the gravities are just really strong. But here's a cool fact about Neptune. Neptune and that dwarf planet Pluto I'm going to tell you about, guess what happens? They cross paths, and they kind of like switch spots when they rotate around the sun for a little bit, because Pluto's all over the place. It doesn't just go around perfectly like some of the other planets. It kind of cuts its rotation short a little bit, and it cuts in line, and it cuts through Neptune's rotation. So then sometimes Neptune is even further out, like when we had 9 planets at points, instead of Neptune being the 8th one, when Pluto cut in front of it, Neptune became the 9th one. Pretty crazy, I know. I think you guys are gonna love looking at Neptune. Here's a picture. Cool fact is that you know how Jupiter's got that big red spot on it? Neptune had a big dark blue spot on it, but you know how Jupiter's red spot stays because it's a constant storm? Well, years later, Neptune's spot went away. So scientists don't know what it was or where it came from or what happened. So there's so many details that scientists have yet to discover about Neptune because it's so far away and it takes so long to get to. And it was just recently discovered in 1846, and it only made one rotation around the sun to 2011. So they have so much to learn about Neptune. Maybe when you get older, if you become an astrologist or an astronomer or just a scientist or mathematician, you might be one to discover new information about Neptune if this type of science interests you. So here is our picture of Neptune. Look how beautiful that color is. So pretty, definitely a darker blue than Uranus. So Neptune has got some really cool features about it, even though we don't know much about it, and they're still yet to be discovered. And I know one day if you go into that type of science, I have a good feeling because y'all are so smart and y'all know how to research. I have a feeling that one of y'all are going to make history and find out some really cool information for us to learn about Neptune, and I can't wait for that. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to come back with our video about a little short information about Pluto, but we're really going to talk about the order of the planets, and we're going to go ahead and introduce you to the writing we're going to do with our planets. It's going to be like an opinion fact writing about your favorite planet using facts you learned about why it's your favorite planet. And then we're going to do a fun craft project about your favorite planet too. So all that information is going to come on Thursday, and I can't wait to give it to you. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. See you guys later.